What's up? What's up? What's up? Let me just get this camera just right.
Hmm.
There we go.
Finally in the video.
Oh boy, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? We are Twin Flames. We are back at it again. And if y'all don't know already, I'm Chris.
And I'm Felicia.
What
Oh, what
up?
up? What up, Ryan?
Oh boy, yeah,
Hey,
what's going on? What's going
Marshawn.
on?
Hey, Hector.
Sorry for running a little late, but we got a little explanation for that, but we're gonna get into it. How's everybody doing this evening, this weekend?
Whew.
Hope y'all had a good one. Sending y'all some positive vibes.
Look, we
Go on,
got
send the
Sage.
positive vibes. Got the sage and everything going.
Yep.
Oh boy, oh boy. Now, today, what we're going to be talking about is how to properly love, how to love effectively. Because there are so many people out there who have a misconception of what love is. So we wanted to clear it up a little bit.
Ryan said he was just burning sage. Ryan, I need the sage. Every time I go outside and come back in, I got a sage. I might need to get a sage perfume. Who want to invent that?
Actually, they got it.
They do.
They have a sage spray.
That's a spray. That's not a perfume. I mean, like
Whoa.
a perfume, like an incense, like a something. If y'all got any links that y'all can send me where I can have some essential oils that's made up of sage, so I don't have to keep constantly burning it when I come back in the house, let me know.
All right. Now, before we get into the video, y'all, wow, what a week this has been.
Guys, hello, Jenny. Hello, welcome, welcome.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Yes, now this has definitely been a week. There's been a lot of changes going on. And first of all, we would like to apologize to you all because we know we're supposed to be doing videos at least 3 times a week.
Right, we have not been doing good, and we are so apologetic right now.
Hope y'all can forgive us,
Please forgive
show us some
us.
unconditional love.
Some compassion.
Oh, yeah. And then for this week, we got the kids out of school for Thanksgiving. Happy holidays to everybody out there. But it's going to be a challenge, y'all, so bear with us. Just,
Hang in there.
oh boy. So,
Oh my Sean, we're gonna do better. I promise. We're gonna
yes,
do better.
yes, yes, yes. So, tonight, like I said, we're going to be talking about how to love effectively or
Yes.
effectively, depending on how you say it. Some people say with an A, some people say with an E.
Well, the A and
But
the E is a
I
little
know it's two
bit,
different
yeah,
things,
but
but
it could be applied to the topic. Either A
hmm,
or E could be applied.
right,
Yeah,
right.
in this situation, in
Hmm.
this case. And
But in your case,
somebody just logged in and they said hi. I'm not so who is this that just
Eden's,
Eden's Beauty and Wellness. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're gonna be talking about love and how
yes,
you can love
yes,
effectively.
yes.
Okay, because some people, or most people, you get into a relationship, and the first thing that's in your mind is, treat people how you want to be treated, right?
Hmm.
Just, on some level, yeah, that is true. You want to have compassion for people. Now,
Hmm.
we're going to dive deep into how that can quickly go south while we're diving deep. You
Hmm.
know, that when you're in a relationship with somebody that you really love, or it could just be a platonic relationship, that phrase, treat people how you want to be treated,
Hmm.
it can get a little wavy,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
we're going to bring some clarity to that saying tonight.
Hmm. We're going to straighten it out. We're going to straighten it out so it's not going to be wavy anymore.
Mm-mm.
And I think, do you want me to begin, baby?
Go right ahead, sweetheart.
I'll begin. Okay, so when they say treat people how you want to be treated, especially when you're in a relationship, any relationship, it can get a little, it can make the other person confused. Hear me out. I'm going to explain why. So, everybody has a different perception as to what love is. Like they have a lot. It's like fish love. Some people have fish love.
Mm.
You have a fish, you love the fish, but you want to eat it. That's not love right there. You just want to
Mm.
eat the fish. So
Mm.
that's a little bit selfish. And sometimes we get into situations where we can express that kind of fish love.
Mm.
But that's not what we're talking about right now. But I'm just telling you, some people are like that, and
Yeah.
they're not conscious of it. So compassion, forgiveness,
Yeah.
and go ahead, baby.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking that's actually something that needs to be touched on a little bit more before we get into
Yeah.
the point of loving effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Because in so many relationships, just like Leisha was just talking about when we talk about the fish love story, if y'all haven't heard about it, y'all can Google it, look it up on YouTube
Yeah.
about the fish love. If y'all have heard about the fish love story, drop a comment, let us know, say yes, yes, I've heard of it. But just to break it down even more, um, like you said, you love the fish, but the only reason you love that fish is because of what it's about to do for you.
Right. It's about to make your stomach feel real good. So you want to eat
Mhm.
it.
Right. So a lot of people get into relationships because of what the other person is about to do for them. They don't really think about what the other person may need
Right.
or what their wants are because that fish before you got it to your house was living just
Had
fine.
a family and everything with kids and all of that stuff.
Right. So they're not looking to get eaten, right? And then when you get into a relationship, whether there's a friendship or
Right.
a romantic relationship, like a lot of times we look at individuals, and I'm guilty of this myself. Before I got with Alicia, that's something I was looking for. I was looking for what the other person can do for me, not what I can do
Right.
for them.
How can you improve my life? What do you
Mm.
have to add to the table? And then the other person might be like, "Well, I'm the table." I'm just playing. You know how I'm silly.
Yeah,
But so did you want me to go into the little scenario that I have?
yeah. Go right ahead.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Hmm.
I just draw a little blank, so bear with me. It's been a long week, y'all. Mercury is in retrograde, and Mercury is one of my
Venus is in
planets.
direct.
So it's a lot of stuff going on here right now emotionally. We just trying to keep it together. But anyhow, so when you think about being in a relationship and when you're loving somebody, you walk into that relationship
Mm.
and you have your perspective of what love is. The person that you're in a relationship with, they will have their perspective of what love is, right?
Hmm.
Now, you might have a perception, let's say, okay, to love somebody means that I'll open the door for them, I'll cook for them,
Hmm.
I'll run them baths, or whatever your perception is of what love is. You're going to be doing all those things because you're treating that person how you want them to treat you, right? Now, on the flip side, on the other person's perspective, who you're in a relationship with, they can view love as something different. Following? So
Hmm.
they might view love as something like, let's say, um, you make up the bed, or you wash the car, or you clean with detail, like whatever. That's how they view somebody that loves them.
Hmm.
So, in that particular relationship, if you're not taking the time to really know that person, you could be loving them wrong, so to
Mm.
speak. And then that's kind of how a relationship can fall apart.
Right.
Because and then you're going to be confused. You're going to be like, "Well, I'm doing all of this. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing this." But the other person is not like receiving the love because it's like you're not taking the time to get to find exactly. So
Yes.
it's, exactly. So it's like you're speaking two different languages. So
Hmm.
you're not understanding each other. So the love language is different.
Right.
So it's kind of like you have to understand the person and understand how they receive love, how they perceive love, and vice versa. They would have to understand you and understand how you perceive love so you both can
Hmm.
be on the same page. So if your partner views love as you making up the bed, you cleaning, cooking, and stuff like that. I mean, if this is something that you don't like to do, then that would be the time when you can let them know, hey, I don't think I'm the one for you.
No.
Because I don't like to cook, I don't like to clean, I don't like to do all this stuff. Because what's going to happen if they say, well, this is what I want you to do, like the expectations, and you just do it because, hey, I'm just going to do it because I love this person, or so you think, then after a while, you're going to start to get aggravated.
Mm.
And then the other person is going to be like, well, hey, you did it in the beginning.
Like you just done changed on me.
Right. You
No,
switched up on me.
and all the while, it's just that you weren't being authentic with yourself.
Right.
And just a quick sidebar, this really goes back to self love. Because if you truly love yourself and you give yourself the things that you really want and you don't accept the things that you don't want, then you can actually come into a relationship on a clean slate and build a strong foundation to move forward on.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's why it's important to be authentic. In the beginning of a relationship, it's always important to be authentic and stay true to yourself. And sometimes we can get into the feeling where we feel desperate, or oh, they have two good points about them, let me
Mm-hmm.
just stay, and lying to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because eventually you can only lie but so long before you start feeling uneasy or uncomfortable or inadequate.
Right.
So it's always best to nip those things in the butt in the beginning. You lay your plates out.
Mm-hmm.
You watch a person, you take time to learn them and to see what they exactly resentment. That's right, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
You start resenting the person because you don't want to cook, you don't want to clean, you don't want to make up any beds. But this is how the person receives love. This is how this is their perception of what love really is.
Right.
And your perception is completely different because you're going off of that phrase that we talked about in the beginning, treat others how you would like to be treated,
Mm-hmm.
instead of treating someone how they would like to be treated.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. And we were actually talking about it, and that phrase needs to be revised
I think so.
or vamped. And one of the things that we actually came up with while we were talking about this subject last night, because we were actually planning on doing this live last night, but
Right.
oh boy. Um,
It's a lot that came up.
yeah. But one of the things that we realized that when we say that you should love everybody the way that you want to be loved, in a way that word love needs to be changed with respect.
Respect. And yes, Ryan, absolutely agree with
Hmm.
you.
So you should respect everybody the way that you want to be respected, but you should love everyone the way that they want to be loved.
Exactly. That you have to speak their language, because if
Hmm.
you're trying to communicate with somebody that speaks Spanish or somebody that
Hmm.
speaks French, but you're trying to communicate in English and they don't understand English, you're not really going anywhere.
No comprende.
No comprende. Él necesita el baño. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, we
hey,
know a little Spanish.
no,
I didn't know we know
you don't
Spanish.
need to go to the bathroom, whatever. But y'all get where we're going with
Oh
this.
boy.
So you have to speak their love language in order for them to receive the love that you're giving to them. And if you're not comfortable with speaking their language, if you're not he say no Nintendo. But
Oh my goodness.
Ryan.
Oh
I'm not
boy.
doing it today with Ryan.
Oh man. But yeah, but you got to be able to really come and meet people where they are,
Right.
and letting go of expectations
Yep.
that this person is going to accept the love the way that you want to give it to them.
Right.
And just like Leisha said at the beginning, that's really selfish.
Mm-hmm. It's selfish and it's kind of lazy too.
Oh yeah.
I
Like, oh,
mean,
I can't think of any other way to love you. This the only way I know how to love. So if you don't accept the love that I give to you, then you can move to the
right.
side
And it's too
or
bad.
just deal with it.
Right.
I mean, really?
Yeah, we gotta either you're willing to speak their language,
Hmm.
coming from a place of love, compassion, and understanding, or if this is something that you're not able to do,
Hmm.
you just have to nicely let them know, hey, you know what, I might not be the one. You're a cool person. I understand such and such. It doesn't have to be anything negative or bad or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, because everybody is not meant to be with a certain individual. And it's okay.
No.
People come into your life, you learn lessons, and you keep it moving.
Right.
uh, Ryan, what did he say?
So
Loving your
loving your soul
soul.
awakens your heart, your true self, unconditional love, all
All that
that
you.
you are.
Yes,
Yes.
Ryan, completely.
Right. Yeah, and that's one thing that I was just thinking about that needs to be said is that it's it's really important for for everyone to do their work individually
Hmm.
so that when you come into a relationship with another individual, then you can tell them with confidence, this is the way I need love.
Right.
And if you can't love me that way, then that's cool.
It's okay.
Because every I, I forget the saying, but everybody has that person
Right.
that's just right for them.
I know it. I know it.
What's it?
Every moldy bread has their moldy cheese.
True. And another man's trash is another man's treasure.
Exactly.
So don't hold on to that expectation that this person has to love you the way that you want to be loved.
Hmm.
And if you truly love this person unconditionally,
Right.
then
Adjusted wouldn't be too much of a problem.
no, no.
Just saying.
And in some relationships, it's pretty simple to figure out what people want. But once again, everybody's unique and everybody loves a different way.
Yep.
Like, for example, a lot of people like to have attention as far as love. Like, paying somebody some attention means the world to them because as a child, they may have just been ignored.
He talking about me, y'all. I'm right here.
I mean, that's most people.
He talking about me.
And another thing is that some people like to have public displays of affection.
Oh,
They want to get hugs and kisses in front of
right.
everybody.
Right.
Some people don't want that.
Some people really don't want that. Like, don't you dare kiss me in public.
No. Like, what you do? What you doing?
Yeah.
But and see, and another good point when it comes to loving somebody effectively or effectively is to take your time.
Yes.
Because you can't learn somebody in a day,
Or two.
in a week.
Right.
I mean, most of us are grown on this channel, so these people that you're getting in relationships with have at least been on this earth for 20 some odd years.
Right. And that's only in this lifetime.
Right. And to think that you can figure somebody out in a week's time,
Hmm.
you know, because they're the things that just click.
Right.
A lot of our people who have come in contact with their twin flames, y'all know it just clicks.
It clicks.
But to really, and that's the connection,
Hmm.
okay? You understand the connection, but there's more than just the connection. There's an individual on the other side of that connection that you have.
Right. The river runs deep, guys, because always remember, when you encounter somebody for the first time, what you're really meeting is their representative.
Mm, preach.
Okay? That's their representative.
Facts.
All right? That's not them. That's the person that represents them to make them look good. All right? Most people. Now, you might spend like a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. Some people representatives are really strong. Like they're in there. Like they're, they in there. They'll hang on for a couple weeks. I seen representatives hung in it for 2, 3, 4 months.
Yeah.
That's some strong representatives.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to get past the representative. And some people got walls up like so high, like the ones that Donald Trump want to build. The walls are so high for some people that you might not even be able to get past that representative.
Mm-mm.
And so you have to be able to use discernment to see the persona and the reps. Okay? But sometimes the true colors, it might try to come out sometimes,
Yeah.
It might try to peek itself out. So you have to be attentive to see when the real person is trying to say, what up?
And just a kind of like a quick tip or a quick secret. If you want to see somebody's true colors, put them under pressure.
How you gonna put the people under
I
pressure?
mean, well, not do it deliberately. Let me back up. Let me back up. Okay, we're gonna rewind here. Okay, if you want to see somebody's true
Trigger.
colors,
There you go.
yeah,
Trigger.
if you want to see somebody's true colors, watch them and see how they act
Right.
when the pressure is on.
And just be authentic.
Hmm.
Like I think that's the best way. Is to just be authentic. Be who you are.
Hmm.
Because you wanna if you like to eat ice cream and sit down and you like to smack, go on and eat ice cream, sit down and smack.
Eat it up.
Eat it up. Just you have to be comfortable. If this is somebody you plan to spend the rest of your life with, you don't want to have a representative showing up before you because the representative is not the one that's going to eventually live with the person. It's going to be you. They don't stay for very long.
No.
So the best way to find out who a person really truly is to be yourself.
Yes.
Their true self is going to show up at some point, and when their true self shows up, they're going to meet you.
Yes.
Cause they're gonna be there. They're gonna come through.
Yeah, because that first stage, like for a lot of our twin flames out there, y'all are very familiar of the
Right.
bubble love phase. And when you're
Yes.
in that bubble love phase, you got those blinders on, and all
Right.
you see is love.
You don't see anything else.
All you see is the perfect mate, and everything about that mate is perfect. But you got to take time to let that bubble love phase
Yeah.
fizzle out and see how things really go when you really get down to the meat of things.
Right. And what's the name said? Eden said it's hard for some people to be their true self. That is so true.
Hmm.
In today's world, people find it so hard to be themselves
Hmm.
because it's so much pressure in today's society. It's so many expectations that society puts on people.
Hmm.
Um, but you just have to look at it like this, the world
Hmm.
wants you to be a certain way, but the world doesn't live with you.
No. Oh, no.
You have to live with you.
Like you said before, have you ever met society?
Exactly. Have you ever met society? Who's this guy
I haven't.
society? Who's this guy society? Society
Yeah.
does not even live up to the expectations that they put on other people.
No.
As a matter of fact, they do the complete opposite.
They do the complete opposite, and then they ridicule you for not living up to a standard that they're not even living up to themselves.
Exactly. So you don't have to worry about living up to society's expectations. You just worry about being authentic. Number one rule in life is harm no one. Okay? Harm no one. That's the number one rule in life. That's the universal law. Because whatever you put out there is just going to come back. So
Yep.
harm no one. Be true to yourself. Live in your own authenticity. And the right people would come around. The
Hmm.
wrong people would leave.
Right.
If you want to look at it that way. Accept you, live your truth, and you will attract yourself. Because as within, so without.
Right.
And if you have a, if it's hard for you to be who you are, be your true self, practice doing little things. Just start out with doing little things every day. Telling yourself, I love you in the mirror every single day. You are fabulous. You are great. You don't have to change if you don't want to. If there's things that you're working on,
Hmm.
love it even though you're working on it.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And,
Yep.
and everything will be okay. Brick by brick.
Yep. Now, that was a question
Marshawn.
from our Marshawn, and I'm trying to make sure I'm understanding exactly what's going on. Now, so you put my name on there, so
And then he got a problem with a
respond.
Libra.
So, Chris, do you know what this Libra? Oh boy, we're about to get into
Oh
some
boy, don't talk
juiciness.
about my Libras.
But just did that to me for the last 4 months. Love connection was there. He loves me all along, but he put me through a test
Oh,
to tell. Hmm.
that's interesting. Huh. So I guess he wants to know what he's dealing with.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's
That's interesting.
in a way that's I wouldn't say commendable, but it's a smart thing. And actually, you know what? I wouldn't even say a smart thing. That's more of a wall that's there.
That's that
But
wall like what Donald Trump got up for the
what he
Mexicans.
trying to put
He
up.
tried to put up for the Mexicans. That's a wall.
Yeah, but that's a wall there because when people have been hurt, and most people try to keep their heart open
Hmm.
for love, but when you've been hurt so much that you kind of put your pinky toe in, it's like, okay, that's cool.
Right.
Let me put just to my ankle in and see what's going
Right.
on.
And test the
And
waters.
so they're testing you to see if you're going to be the complete opposite of what they've always been experiencing.
Right. Right.
Because one of the things uh, that's even more important than love is trust.
Ah,
Because if you
yes.
can't trust anybody, then you're not going to give your all to them.
Hmm. Trust is very, very, it's a building
Hmm.
block in any relationship. It's trust. Can I trust you with my heart? Can I trust you
Hmm.
with my soul? Can I trust you in my house? Can I trust you?
Hmm.
And so some people, like Chris said, because they've been through so much, they have to test the waters. It's like Medea in the story where she talked about some people are leaves, some people are roots, and some people are branches.
Hmm.
So you got to be careful with the branches that come in your life because you climbing on a tree, you're gonna try to put your foot on that branch. You got to test the branch. You got to
Hmm.
put some weight on it to see if it's gonna hold you up, right? And so you got to be careful because you put too much weight on that branch. What's gonna happen?
It's going to
It's
break.
gonna leave you high and dry in the sky. So he was probably testing to see if you were a branch or if you were a root.
Right.
So
Yeah. And so, once again, it's going back to being authentic. Because if
yeah,
the person that you're portraying to your potential mate or your current mate,
right.
if that personality is your true personality, then you don't have anything to worry about.
Nothing.
The walls that other people have are walls for them to deal with. It's not for you to deal with.
Has nothing to do with you.
You can still love them unconditionally. You can help them, support them through it.
Yeah.
And eventually that wall will come down with time.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody has their secrets, everybody has their flaws, but nobody wants everybody to know what those flaws are.
Marshawn said, "I am a she."
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
I
Mar.
was a,
I knew you were a girl.
Forgive me, Marshawn. It's been a long week. It's been a lot of
Yes, there's a
forgive
lot of
me.
stuff going on.
But
The retrogrades, there's a
but
lot going
just
on.
just just reverse what I'm saying because it still applies.
Yeah,
But that person is just putting up walls just to test
yeah.
the water, and men test the waters too.
They test the waters a lot. I think men test
Yeah.
waters more than women.
Because us as men, we don't want to admit that we get emotional.
Hmm.
Now I'm gonna be real because I've dealt with my dark side. I've dealt with my emotional side. I could get emotional sometimes. Leisha will tell y'all.
Carl Thomas. Carl Thomas in these streets, y'all.
Yeah, she'll let y'all know I could get emotional at sometimes, but most guys, probably 95% of guys, will not admit that they are emotional, that they are afraid of
Yeah,
love, because there's so many things that go on throughout their life that that trust,
yeah.
that love has been abused,
Right.
and once again, going to standards that society put out is that
Hmm.
men are supposed to be strong. They're not supposed to show emotion. They're not
Right.
supposed to cry and stuff like that. But that's a bunch of BS. A belief system
Mm-hmm.
that needs to be done away with,
Yeah, because it's not serving anybody.
right? And so when it comes to guys, when stuff like that, like they're trying to test to see if you're for real or not.
Right.
If you're that
Exactly.
type of ride or die chick, you
Right.
know.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, and And just to comment on what you just said, hurt people.
Exactly.
And that's why it's so important. If you've ever been hurt in your life, before you get into another relationship, make sure you have dealt with that hurt.
Exactly. And so if you get cut from someone else, if you don't take care of that cut, you're going to go to the next person and you're going to bleed on them.
Mm.
Right? So make sure you heal your cut, you seal your wounds before you go to someone else.
Right. Cause just look at Alicia's shirt. She got this white shirt on, and if somebody cut me around here,
It's
I'm just
gonna
gonna
be
be
all
over the
pouring
shirt,
everywhere.
and this pretty white shirt is just gonna be ruined.
Ruined, guys, ruined.
And so just imagine her shirt as a relationship.
Right? See,
You want to keep this shirt nice and clean,
Nice and clean.
crisp. You want to put some fabric softener on it when you wash it so it smells good and it lasts a long time.
Right.
So you don't want to get all of your blood onto the relationship and
Right.
just mess it up.
Mess it up. You got to take care of that wound over there. Do your little self healing, and that way when you get into the next relationship, you're not messing anything up. You know, like AKA walls and stuff like that.
Right.
Because walls, I mean, to a certain extent, it's good to a certain extent. But the reason why the walls is there in the first place is because of what happened in the past, and people are bringing it into the future. You know, Ryan had said something really important. He said something about you can't get into the future because you're still married to your past, or something to that. Ryan, you can go ahead and put it up in the comments. Something about being attached to the past, and something about not being able to get into the future. Something to that effect.
Yeah.
But you got to let go of your past. And you know what people do, what I've noticed, and I think I'm guilty of this myself in the past, you know, before I got smart and stuff.
She's real smart.
Yeah, sometimes. But what people do is they stop sleeping with your past if you want to have a relationship with your future. That's it. That's it, Ryan. Look at Ryan. You better. Go on, Ryan.
Yes.
So, what was I gonna say again, baby? You took my stuff out of my mind, didn't you? This is what he does sometimes. He steals my information in my head. He has that ability. But I was gonna say something really, really important.
More along the lines of that if you want to move forward with your future, you have to let go of the past.
Yes.
Because it's only a block that's stopping you from creating the best version of your world that you would like to create. So letting go of expectations, being authentic with yourself, and be open to love another individual the way that they want to be loved, as long as they respect you and they deserve it.
Exactly. And as long as you're okay with loving them how they want to be loved. If you're not okay with it, stay true to yourself. Let them know this is not something I can keep up with, Tyrone. I'm not going to be able to cook every day. I'm not going to be able to wash this car every day. I'm not going to be able to do this every day. After a while, I'm going to get frustrated and I'm not going to want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to let them know this. Don't pretend you like it in 2 weeks, and in the third week, you cussing at Tyrone. Let him know, listen, this is not something I want to do. I don't want to commit to it. Leave me alone. Oh, Marshawn. Well, congratulations, honey bun.
Yeah. Now, if you pass the test, the question is, are y'all together? Are y'all in union? And if y'all are, then yeah, that is a really good thing that y'all that you passed that test.
Yeah.
The real person to ask that question to is your mate. Because we can't tell you if that's good or bad.
Right.
Because from our perspective, if anybody passed the test, that's awesome.
That's great.
Now, you have to ask the instructor who gave the test.
Right. That might be an intro test.
Right.
Because depending on how deeply somebody is hurt, that will depend on how many walls they have up and how high those walls are. So you might have another test to take. We don't know.
Yeah. And another thing with loving effectively is communication.
Key.
Communication is the major key. It's this nation's backbone.
Right.
You know, without communication, it's nearly impossible to love anybody effectively. Yes. Because unless you have reached that higher realm and you can read people's thoughts and emotions.
And communicate telepathically, so you don't need words.
Right. If you can do that, you can love somebody to the best of your ability. They will be over the moon and happy with you. But what you got?
This is so weird.
Let me
Somebody
see.
had Queen Kells has a question.
Let's see. I have not met my twin in person yet. We spoke on social media. I feel him being sexually active with others and it hurts. What should I do? Mm,
Focus on self love, acceptance, surrender, forgiveness, let go. Very good, Ryan.
that is very good. And actually, if you all check out the video that we did with Baz, the light angel,
Yes.
he really he really has some awesome key points to take away for situations like that. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we know that that hurts. Um, but in that hurt is a lesson.
Yep.
And I'm trying to choose my words carefully because I've been there before. If y'all looked at the video that we did about removing blockages, y'all may remember that I had an individual who actually cheated on me while we were together. I mean, we were together physically. This was before social media and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so, believe me, I know how hurtful it could be. But there's a lesson to be learned. And one of the lessons is learning self love, what you will and will not accept.
Yep.
You have to be able to draw that line, not build a wall, but draw a line to where to let people know that, hey, you can't cross that and be with me.
Exactly. Self love.
Hmm.
You have to be able to love yourself enough to set boundaries and know what's acceptable and what's not. And also learning how to surrender and learning how to let go of attachments.
Hmm.
Because attachments is what keeps you binded and, bound to the 3D,
Yes.
the illusion of the whole separation and duality and stuff like that. That keeps you binded to the 3D world in the
Hmm.
atmosphere. Because that's what
Yes.
I call it, atmosphere, because that's what it is. That's why it's so dense. That's why they call it the atmosphere, because it's dense because of the fear. So
Right.
this might be a chance for you to learn how to let go of attachments, how to
Hmm.
surrender to the process, trust the universe, and start really loving yourself, harnessing your energy and developing yourself, evolving and rising to that higher nature.
Hmm.
Dissolving the lower self into the higher self.
Right.
That's what the twin flame journey does. It helps you to evolve. It's like a um, fast track to ascension, pretty much. So you find yourself going through these painful situations with individuals. It's to trigger you.
Hmm.
Sometimes it brings you to the lowest point you've ever been in your life. The pain is so deep, you're ready to exit out.
Yeah.
But it brings you a strength, a certain type of strength that you never knew that you had.
Right.
So that's what that is there for.
Hmm. Now, we were planning on keeping this video short,
Mm-hmm.
but something just came in my spirit, and this may seem like a rant.
It's not a rant.
It's not a rant. But one of the things that you mentioned on there, Queen, is that you met them on social media. Now, this is not so much to do with how you met your individual, but this is kind of like a general thing because I see it so much through social media that people are meeting individuals on social media and having full blown relationships and they've never met or encountered the individual. Now, social media is the holy grail of putting on masks
Mm-hmm.
because when you look at Facebook, most of the times all you see is the happiest pictures that people have. They're not having a bad day. They just
Right.
have a perfect life on Facebook.
The highlights of their moments.
Right. You look on
Hmm.
Instagram, you got all these filters taking away blemishes, scratches,
Right.
things of that nature, and the people look perfect. But when you
Hmm.
meet them in person, it look like somebody hit them with an ugly stick.
Oh wow! He said an ugly stick.
So you know, with social media, um, social media is cool. Social media is a tool. It's a tool of communication, keeping in contact with people. But when it comes to actually having a relationship, call me old school, but there's just something about being able to hold a person,
I see
being
him in
able to look at
person.
them in their eyes. Because when you're able to look at somebody in their eyes, it makes it a little bit harder for them to lie to your face.
Right? The eyes are windows to the soul. And
Hmm.
Eden said that her twin and herself they struggle with ego and
Hmm.
something else. Pride. Okay, pride has been a struggle with my twin and I,
Yeah.
and also ego. Yeah, I could see how the ego is your identity. Now, I talked about this in my spiritual group with the ego.
Somebody asked the question, "What is ego?"
Right. So I
Like,
gave them
really?
I gave them the definition of ego. The
Hmm.
ego is your identity in this 3D. So you need the ego to be in the 3D now. I
Hmm.
mean, people say dissolving the ego. When you back with source and you back with one, you get to those high 12th dimensions. You don't need ego. It's not necessary. But being here in the 3D, in this atmosphere,
Hmm.
you need the ego as identity, right? But it's not the ego when it turns left or when it goes wrong, so to speak. That's when you're letting the ego drive you. Then you're letting
Hmm.
the ego drive instead of love. You're supposed to really let love guide you and not your ego. Your ego is just there so you can be able to tell where you begin and where somebody else's end energetically,
Right.
right? So you need the ego. It's not a bad thing. You just have to learn to let love guide you.
Mm.
Kick ego out the front seat. It don't belong in the front seat.
No, it doesn't need to be behind the wheel. It has no
No,
license.
none.
It can't see.
Put it in back. The ego is a backseat driver. That's where it belongs, in the back
Yeah.
seat. That's it. It don't get no driver's license. It don't
Mm-mm.
get no permits. Nothing. Okay, it's a spectator. That's all it is, and it
Yeah.
sits in the back. So put it in the back seat and let love guide you, and not fear, because fear is where all emotions stem from. They all
Yes.
come from fear. And emotions, again, guys, that's energy in motion.
Right.
That's why you get moved when somebody pisses you off.
Yeah.
It moves your spirit because it's
It's
the energy.
emotion.
Emotion, energy in motion,
Mm-hmm.
right? Could say absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, and you gotta have balance. You gotta learn to balance yourself so you're on that seesaw. So
Mm-hmm.
you're in harmony. Just riding them waves, baby, riding them waves. So
I
let go
like
of
it.
fear. Once you let go of fear, guys, you will find that the ego will automatically put itself in the back seat, because fear is false evidence appearing real, and
Mm-hmm.
the ego is driven by fear, because the
Yes.
ego only comes out because it's afraid. It's afraid, like,
Mm-hmm.
somebody might be saying something bad about you, or saying something where you're more than that, and the ego jumps in, boom, in the
Mm-hmm.
front seat. No, I'm this and I'm that and I'm here and I'm strong. I'm the big I am. That's the ego.
Right.
And because it's fear, it's led by fear. You're afraid that people might perceive you in a certain way. You're afraid that you might not
Mm-hmm.
get this. So it's everything that the ego deals with is based off of fear. So
Right.
if you get rid of fear, which is false evidence appearing real, all those stories that you're telling yourself, the what ifs, then you automatically kick the ego back in the back seat where it belongs.
Right. What did it say?
So cool and comforting. Oh, Queen, we are so glad that you found us too. We thank you
Yes.
for being here and we appreciate you. We love all of our subscribers. You
Mm-hmm.
guys are amazing. You guys are immaculate. You guys are wonderful.
Yes. And for all of our subscribers, if y'all haven't known about YouTube allowing posts on YouTube, kind of like Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, we've been putting some posts out, kind of playing with that a little bit. And we actually got some polls that we're going to start putting together for some topics that y'all would like to
Oh,
cover. Yes, look at Marshawn.
Marshawn.
See, our
Listen,
subscribers are awesome.
they are so loving. They are
Yes,
so loving. Anybody that's new to our channel, we welcome you, and you're gonna love Marshawn. She is amazing. You're gonna
yes.
love Ryan. You're gonna love. I wonder if Hector. Hector, you still here? Hector, if you're still here, let's
Hmm.
see you. Anybody who's here for the first time, just go ahead and drop a comment. Say hello.
Right.
We welcome you guys, and we love you guys,
Hmm.
and we just love all of our subscribers.
Yeah. And if y'all haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell because a lot of our videos are going to be live videos,
Yeah.
and we try to do them at least 3 times a week.
We're gonna try. Marshawn, we're gonna do better. I promise.
Yeah. So you want to have those notifications turned on so that you know when we're
Jan.
about to go live.
Hey Jan. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for sending us a little message. We love you too.
Hmm.
Hearts,
Yes,
hearts,
yes,
hearts,
yes.
hearts, hearts, hearts.
Yeah,
Oh,
we love all
Carlene,
of
hearts,
y'all.
hearts, hearts.
Yes. A
Love
lot
you
of love, a lot
guys.
of love. All right. So hopefully the information that we've gone over this evening helps you out in your walk or your journey towards love. And what we would like to see is everybody receive the unconditional love that they've
Yes.
always wanted because you deserve what you want and you get what you deserve.
Exactly. And Teresa, thank you so much. Tasha, thank you so much.
Hmm.
Just want to acknowledge you to let you know that we love you guys. And Chris
Yes.
is absolutely right. He's so cool. He's my best friend.
Yes. Yes, yes,
And we
yes.
go everywhere together. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes.
He is like my best,
You
best,
know.
best friend. Like it's
Hmm.
crazy.
Yes. And for those of y'all who are on your holiday vacations, definitely take this time to relax,
Yes.
unplug for a little bit while y'all are resting. Well, if y'all are with your families, definitely enjoy that time. Uh, Enjoy your family. Enjoy the moment.
Yes.
Block out everything that's going on relationship wise.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be upset if they're not at the family Thanksgiving and your mom's asking you when you gonna get somebody or when you gonna give me some grandkids. Don't worry about all
Listen, take
that.
some selenite. Let me show you. You see this right here? Get you some selenite when you go to your Thanksgiving or wherever you're going to if you gotta go. And when they start talking crazy stuff, this is what you do. Look, this is what you do. This is how
Take your
you take
selenite
your
wand.
selenite one and you just everything is going fine. Everything is going well. How are you guys doing? Everything okay? And you just keep your aura clean. Because
Yeah.
they'll try to mess you up with all them
Uh,
crazy questions. You're like, wait a minute, mom, I'm gonna answer you in 2 seconds. Hold on, let me just what you say that what was that question again? When am I gonna have kids?
oh
And
boy.
watch how your whole aura changes and you're gonna be
Yes.
able to answer her really nice. And if you wanna go real crazy, take you some sage. Listen, I promise you they're gonna stop messing with y'all.
Take out some Florida water,
Take
put it
a
on your neck. Get some Florida water, keep it clean.
Get you some Florida water when they ask you them crazy questions. Go like this. Hold on, auntie. Hold on. What you say?
Oh boy.
Watch they stop asking y'all crazy questions.
Oh boy.
That was funny.
But yeah, so before we get out, just a recap for those who came in the middle and everything. Uh, Today we were talking about how to love effectively,
Yes.
and just in a nutshell, when it comes down to loving effectively, we want to switch up the saying about love everybody or treat everybody the way that you want to be treated, right? That's the golden rule.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's an awesome rule, but
Right.
it needs to be revised a little bit.
Right.
And we're talking about you want to respect everybody the way that you want to be respected,
Right.
but you want to love people the way that they want to be loved.
Exactly. So their way of seeing love is you washing their car and making up their bed and sweeping the floor, and you okay with that?
Hmm.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
And vice versa. And if you see love as somebody opening up the car door for you, washing your hair, giving you baths and stuff like that, and they're okay with loving you that way, boom.
Hold on, who was that? Oh, Jenny, like, yeah, get that Florida water, keep those. Hey, hey, and actually, actually tomorrow we going to our local crystal shop and we getting that Florida water on deck.
On deck. What was that question again? Hold on, wait. Say, repeat that question again.
Who was that? What was that Solange? They had the
Yeah,
Florida water.
she took that whole thing to that damn, what's that, Grammy
Hey, she
Awards?
needed it. Everything that going on the Grammy Awards.
She probably was sprinkling that everywhere.
People sitting next to her, she just take a little water and just dash it over.
What you say?
Yeah, you got to keep that Florida water. But wow, we love y'all. If we have any questions before we head out, definitely drop a comment real quick about a question that you may have, and we can try to jump on it real quickly.
Yep.
But just to let you know, once again, we got the kids out this week of school, so bear with us. We're going to get these videos in this week.
Yes.
And definitely pay attention to your feed on YouTube.
Yes.
Because we're going to be putting out posts on YouTube and some questionnaires about some things that have been weighing heavy on y'all's hearts, or just thoughts that you've had that you're looking for some answers on. We can jump into those when we do our lives.
Exactly.
And in addition to that, for this week, actually starting tomorrow morning, for those of you all who have been going on to the Third Eye Apparel store, looking at the jewelry that's on there,
thank you,
the shirts and everything, we have a Black Friday starting early. We got 33% off of everything.
Everything, guys.
Everything. So if you're looking to get your significant other a gift, or you're looking to get your kids some gift, or whoever, crystals are awesome gift to give to people, especially for those who you know are going through some situations and they're lonely. Get them a rose quartz.
Rose quartz is perfect for self-love, for loving yourself. You know, the vibrations of the stones, they really help. Like what was it? Was it 2 days ago? I saw, you know, when Mercury went into retrograde, because, you know, Mercury is in my my charts. I have like 6 planets, so whenever Mercury goes into retrograde, I go into retrograde. So I started feeling all types of feelings and feeling anxious. So I got the stones and I held them in my hands, and I literally felt myself calming down.
Yes.
So especially the black stones, like I don't go any place without my obsidian stone. It even helps with the cell phone, the radiations from the cell phone. It helps with all types of negative energy, because you have to remember, everything is energy, and it can affect you in a positive and also negative way. So sometimes you might not catch it, but the obsidian will catch it for you.
Yeah.
So
and one other thing, because New Year's Eve, New Year's is coming up. You want to start the new year out right. Get you a citrine stone.
Yes.
Get you a money stone.
Yes.
To start bringing that energy
in that abundance. Because, you know,
Yes.
money is currency. It's energy. Energy, that flow, getting into that flow. I do have some citrine stones on the website. And also what I'm going to do for the holidays, guys, because, you know, the holidays coming up, this will make perfect gifts.
Yeah, question up there too.
I'm going to start doing like boxes, holiday gift boxes, where you can have like an abundance set. So you can have like sage, you can have citrine, and I have all the sets that would help with abundance. And then I have one for harmony, I have one for protection, and I'll put it all in boxes, like gift boxes on the site. That should be up there by tomorrow or Tuesday. I'll let you guys know once it's up. But that'll make perfect gifts for yourself or for somebody else.
Yes. And there was a question that Carlene had about self-love, about the work that she's been doing, and she can feel her twin. Well, she feels her soul crying out for her twin, and she's trying to figure out how to get over that.
Wow.
And one of the things, one of the pieces of advice that we would give on that And once again, we do offer sessions for those who want some one-on-one counseling with
Right.
Alicia and I. We can definitely help you go through these different areas of your life to help move on to greener pastures.
Right. Did you
Um,
say greener
yeah, the
pastures?
greener pastures. But in that particular situation, Carlene, when oh wow, I lost my train of thought.
It's
Okay,
okay. I got you.
you got it.
I got you.
Okay.
Okay, so Carlene, the thing with your soul crying out for your twin flame, the first thing that we want to explain with the twin flames is that it starts outside of the 3D. The 3D is the duality world, you know, the atmosphere, right? So the twin flame connection actually starts in the 5D, right? In the higher dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, six, I think, in the sixth dimension. So that's where your higher self, you know, your oversoul, whatever you want to call it, universe, God, whatever you want to call it. This is when they come together and they say, you know what, you guys are gonna come down on planet Earth and you're gonna do this and do that because you know you make these arrangements with your higher self before you come here, so you can learn certain lessons, you know, so you can actually grow spiritually, right? So you and your twin are never separated. This is your true twin flame I'm talking about.
Oh, it's
You,
right.
okay, so you guys are never separated.
No.
You're always together. You're never separated. The separation is in the matrix, in the duality, in the 3D.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the separation comes in. This is a whole illusion. I hope I'm not losing anybody here because this stuff runs deep. That's how this is a rabbit hole.
Yes.
It's all about how deep you want to go.
Right.
Right? So you're never separated from your twin. Now, once you have that understanding, once you start diving within yourself and you start connecting with yourself, connecting with your higher self, you're going to realize that it's no separation. And then you're on a whole nother level. It's a whole nother ball game.
Yes.
And then the minute and the moment that you realize that it's no separation, and then you're able to let go of attachments, right? And expectations, right? That's when the floodgates open up. We spoke to one of our friends today, and it's the same thing. Now, this is what he's saying. I don't want anybody. I want them to leave me alone. I just want to focus on my mission. And now everybody is coming to him. Everybody.
Right.
And now he's running from them. Because now he's giving off a vibration of love. When you start loving yourself, you start giving off a high frequency of love. And people subconsciously, right? They're attracted to that. So they'll be drawn to you. Mm-hmm. But if you're embodying the feeling of lack or like wanting, that's what you're going to draw to you.
Right.
Right? So you have to get to that place of self-love and self-acceptance, finding your passion, living your passion, loving your passion. And then what's on the inside now is going to start reflecting on the outside.
Right.
So it's like you're a magnet. You're just going to start bringing in stuff to you that's meant to be with you. Love. Yes, Ryan.
Yes. And one other key point for those of you all who are on a twin flame journey, I'm pretty sure you've watched plenty of videos about twin flames. And if you haven't noticed already, there's a common theme that's going around with all twin flames. And the theme is this: always remember that your twin is you. They're not separate from you, just like Leisha was talking about. Your twin is you.
Yep.
So if there's a situation where your twin flame is running from you or they're not with you, for example, on the comment that Carlene had, if your soul is yearning for your twin flame, your soul is looking to connect with you.
Boom. There you go.
Your soul is looking to connect with you.
Exactly. Boom.
So
Self-love.
Instead of looking outside of yourself for that connection, go within.
Go within, baby.
Go within.
Go
Get
within.
yourself whole.
Yes.
Because twin flames are not one soul that split off.
Right, right.
Twin flames are two individual souls that are cosmically connected.
Right. Divine masculine, divine feminine, right? And when you balance those divine masculine, divine feminine within those two souls, boom, then you can, you can connect. It's about the vibrations. What did Nikola Tesla said? If you want to understand the universe, you think in terms of frequency, energy, and vibrations.
Yes.
So whatever frequency or whatever frequency you're on, you'll be a vibrational match to that, and that is what you will attract.
Right. Right.
So vibrate on the love frequency, and then it's going to come to you. You won't even have to look
Hmm.
for it.
Yes. Now that to grasp that concept, you really have to raise your level of awareness,
Yep.
raise your level of consciousness
Mm-hmm.
from a 3D level.
Yep.
Where on the 3D level, there's separation.
Right. It's
There's
duality.
there's good and evil. There's
Mm-hmm.
hot and cold.
Right.
But when you raise your level of consciousness
Mm-hmm.
from 4D to 5D on above,
Right.
then you start to understand that everything is connected.
That's right.
And your essence is in everything around you.
Yeah, and then you start seeing aspects of yourself in other people. That's when stuff gets real, guys.
Mm,
When you start looking at other people and you literally can see aspects of yourself, and
right.
that's the segue into compassion right there. And that's what I learned in my meditation on 11:11 and 11:11. Now that was a
A
whole
lot of 11s.
that was a whole ball game. That was a whole
Mm-hmm.
ball game, guys. That took me in a whole nother level. When I did
Mm-hmm.
that meditation on 11:11 at 11:11, I told you I went somewhere.
Yeah.
Alicia went somewhere, and
Yeah.
that's when I was able to understand the interconnectiveness of things and how
Mm-hmm.
nothing is. It's really not a separation.
No.
It's really not a separation. I was actually able to feel the people that are in my lives. I was able to connect with them, like people that I
Mm-hmm.
had, roughy feelings with.
Yeah.
That feeling actually dissolved because then I was able to see myself inside of them,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually made me cry in my meditation. I never
Mm.
cried in my meditation before, but my meditation I cried, and I felt like my heart
Yes.
chakra was just busting open. And in each person, I touched in each person. I
Mm-hmm.
touched in each individual, each one of them. I just touched on them, and
Yes.
then I was able to go to their lowest moment.
Mm.
Like in each person, I felt their lowest point.
Yes.
And then once I was able to feel each person's lowest point, it's like I felt connected to everybody.
Yeah.
It was like a oneness. And then
Mm-hmm.
I just started crying. And after I started crying, then I'm still in the Buddha pose meditation, had already grounded myself. Then I started seeing my body, like my light body.
Mm-hmm.
And then I literally the ground was like going in a circle, but it was like a wave, like a
Mm.
wave. And then I started seeing the colors, and it was going in like the rainbow. It was like indigo, and it was like yellow, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like going in and out, in and out, in and out. And it was so, yeah, Ryan, it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. And at that point, that's when I
Yes.
realized that I'm in everything, you know?
Yeah.
It's a oneness. It's really not a separation. And separation is like a perception.
No. And there's really not any separation. And this is the part where it gets a little tricky when you come to social media and stuff. And I'm gonna give you an example.
Yeah.
Because like when you watch a movie, a love movie, for example, and a lot of people get caught up and they get emotional about it because they connect with it. And the reason why they connect with it is that because at a very deep soul level, your essence is in that character.
Mm.
Like when our subscribers, y'all watch our videos and y'all feel the love that comes this through this screen. And the reason why you're able to feel that energy of that love is that because there is a connection
Right.
there. There is a piece of your essence
Right.
in you
Right.
that's in me.
Exactly.
And once you learn that your essence is in me, it's in Leisha,
It's in
it's
the
in the
plant.
cat down the road,
Everything.
your compassion
Right.
expands.
Boom, baby. You better say this. You better. Where my stuff to shake at? You better say
Yeah.
this.
And that's what we're talking about when you're thinking on the 3D level. You When you think on the 3D level, there's no way that you can grasp the concept that your essence is inside of everybody.
Exactly, because being in the 3D is where duality lives and where separation lives.
Mm-hmm.
So it's impossible
Right.
because you cannot see oneness in separation.
No.
So that's why it's so important to raise your level of consciousness. I would advise that you guys meditate. 15 minutes out of the day.
Mm-hmm.
The best time to meditate is right before the sun rises, right before the sun sets, or if you want to meditate at 11:11, be my guest.
Yes.
Because that was the first time I ever had such a powerful meditation. I usually meditate, but it's just like regular meditation. This meditation on 11:11 was completely different. I was completely blown
Mm-hmm.
away. like it was like light body activation going on, kundalini rising, and
Mm-hmm.
ever since that
Yep.
day, I'm just strange now, and it's okay. Don't judge me. I'm a little strange. Like I'm
Yeah.
able to finish people's sentences. I'm able to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Don't judge me now.
Yeah. And for those of you all who felt like you missed that opportunity to meditate on 11:11 at 11:11, um, you're not you're not missing it. It's still there
Yeah.
because it's a frequency. It's tapping into a frequency.
Yes.
Yes, on that particular day, it made it a little bit easier. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but it is very possible for everybody
Yep.
to experience the same thing that we experience
Exactly.
because it was amazing. Now, for me, I didn't see any colors and things like Leisha did. But when I was in my meditation and I was just breathing, I could feel the room contract
And
and
expanding.
expand
Yeah.
with my breath.
That's how it felt. Yeah, it's
You
like you're
know, it's
one. It's like you're really one with everything. It's like kind of
hmm
like a harmonious type of thing where it's like just like you said, breathing in and out, and it's like you're just
yes.
one. And it feels beautiful. It feels peaceful.
hmm
Like I've never felt that much at peace in my life. It's just so I didn't even want to get out of it.
No.
It was so peaceful.
Now I'm gonna forewarn y'all. When you get to the level that, and not to say that we're better than anybody.
Not at all.
This is just our experience.
Never.
So please don't twist that in
We
any
all
shape,
the
form, or
same, guys.
fashion.
We all the same.
But on the level that I'm on right now, like there are points where I don't take my cell phone with me. I can give two flips about anything that's going on with the news because
Right.
it doesn't affect me.
You already know it's
You know,
fake news
it's
anyhow.
so just to pre-warn you, when you start getting on that level,
Yeah. It's okay. And I want you guys to know that
yeah,
we're not any better than you. You're just
no,
like us. And it's never compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 5.
yes,
Okay? Don't never do that because you're going to get to your chapter 5. Because we're all here to learn.
hmm
You know, it's school. It's a universe. We're all here learning stuff.
right,
So just because somebody might be in the 6th grade and somebody in the 5th grade, that don't mean that that person in the 5th grade might not get skipped. You see what
hmm
I'm saying? You somebody might be in the 6th, you in the 5th. Guess what? You in the 5th might skip, and then now the person that was in the 6th grade, you a grade ahead of them.
yep,
See what I'm saying? Because you never know what your purpose is, what you're here for.
yes, yes. And Janae, you're right. Everybody graduates.
Everybody,
Everybody graduates.
everybody.
And you know what? It's even to the point that people are going to be graduating whether they want to or not.
Yep, they're gonna elevate.
So
They're gonna step up.
so wow. See now, these are the things that we are really focused on, and we just kind of really got off topic here. But these are the things that really matter because when you start, it, I put it this way: twin flames are like the gateway drug for spirituality.
There you go.
Okay, because once you get in contact with your twin flame,
Mm-hmm.
for those who are really curious and they're trying to learn about it,
Yeah.
you're gonna start falling into other things. That
Mm-hmm.
rabbit hole is gonna start going real deep
Real,
and real long.
real fast, real fast.
Yes, and you're gonna start learning a lot of stuff about yourself,
Yes.
a lot of stuff about your environment,
Yes.
and the veil is gone. So all of the information that you ever wanted to know
It's right there.
about this universe is at your fingertips. Literally, you can go on to
Literally.
YouTube, type in just about anything.
Right there.
Kundalini Awakening,
Right there.
7 Hermetic Principles,
Right there.
Ancient Egypt, aka Kemet,
Anything.
Any-
And if you don't want to do that, you can meditate. I promise you.
and the information will come.
And the information is correct. Meditate. I was giving my baby information on the stock market. It was correct. I did not know how I got this information, but I was giving him anything. He was just there like, oh, how'd you know this? Baby, how you know this? And I'm
Oh,
just
man.
giving it to him. Meditate. You can
Yeah.
meditate. The information is there. It's a field of information, and everybody can access it. Okay,
Mhm.
you just have to raise your awareness. Once you raise
Yes.
your awareness, then you're opened up, and you will receive.
Yes.
Ask and he will be. How did it say? Ask
Asking
and
it shall be given.
ask and it shall.
Knocking the door shall be open.
Right.
Yes.
Those are true things. If you want something, it'll
Hmm.
come to you.
Yes. And for those who are new at meditation, because I just saw a comment come up, for those of you who are new to meditation, it's not as hard as you think it may
It's
be.
not.
It's as easy as just being still and observing your uh, observing your environment.
Okay. Somebody said meditation is hard for them because they have the monkey mind syndrome. But it's okay. The monkey mind is always going to be there. Don't
Right.
you're not going to ever be able to clear that mind thing, the monkey mind thing. It's never going to be able to go away altogether.
Hmm.
Like Chris said, the most important thing is to be there in the present moment. Just be in that moment because
Yeah.
sometimes we're human beings, but we act more like human doings because we always
Yeah.
doing instead of being.
Oh, and just real quick about the monkey mind, because a lot of people talk about that a lot whenever they're meditating. And like
Mm-hmm.
they can't focus. They got so many thoughts that are just coming into their head while they're meditating.
Right.
For my parents out there, if you think about your children, whenever they're rambunctious or they're just making a lot of noise, most of the time they're making a lot of noise because they want you to know that they're there.
Mm.
And once you go and you pay some attention to them just for a little bit,
Just a little bit.
just a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
you'll notice after a while they calm
They
down.
calm themselves down.
So through meditation, you're not supposed to ignore your thoughts.
Right.
They are a part of you. They're not you,
Mm-hmm.
but they are a part of you.
Right.
So you when you're in meditation, you have your eyes closed, you can just take a moment, think about that thought
Right.
because that thought is you.
Mm-hmm.
Now the challenge comes when you stop putting labels on those thoughts. Okay? So just let those thoughts go by. It's just like a car going on. It's like the freeway. You got millions of cars going down the freeway. They're
Right.
just flowing through,
Let it flow.
right? And you can be standing on the side of the freeway. You can just watch the car go by.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I gotta pay bills. Lucy just spilled juice on the floor. The dog just pooped on the floor. You just sit there. You just watch it. You just watch it
Watch
go
it
by.
roll by.
You know.
Yeah.
And once you start watching it, and you start paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is that your body recognizes that, oh, they are paying attention to me,
Right.
and it subsides.
Right. And make sure you breathe because it's important to breathe
Mm-hmm.
a lot because I was teaching this to my son, my 6-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
and he was really anxious and I was teaching him about breathing. Breathing is very important, especially when you're meditating because you want to get that prana all the way down into your pit of your stomach. And what I realize is people breathe wrong. Like they don't breathe in a way that's gonna help them. They breathe from their chest. Like see, you breathe in and your chest puff up.
Mm-hmm.
When you're meditating, when you breathe in, you want to make sure your stomach airs up like a balloon because when you put air into something, it's supposed to expand. So you breathe in
Mm-hmm.
with all the way down to your stomach. You let your stomach fill up. You want to hold it for about a little 4 seconds. One
Mm-hmm.
1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. Then you let it out easily, and then you
Yeah.
do the same thing. You repeat that breathing exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to happen after a while? That prana that you're pulling in, that air that you're pulling in, is going to be able to get to all parts of your body and disperse like how it's supposed to.
Right.
Help that pineal gland and everything like that.
Yeah. Because you're sending oxygen to parts of your body that probably hadn't received any oxygen in a while.
In a while, right?
You know, because when you're focusing all of your air in here,
Mm-hmm.
that's why a lot of people most of the times don't have issues with their heart chakra because they're letting air flow
Right.
through that heart chakra, but they're having issues with their lower chakras like the sacral chakra because they're
Right.
not sending the oxygen
The oxygen can't
down
get
into those
down.
lower areas.
Exactly.
So,
Make sure you breathe. Deep breathe and hold it for 4 seconds.
mhm.
Let it out for 4. Breathe, same thing. 4, 4, 4.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right, let me make sure we didn't miss anybody. That Tosh point oh kind of threw me off. Tosh.0, thank you so much for saying that. But I was thinking about the comedian Tosh.0. I was like, I
Oh
know
wow.
Tosh.0 is not on our channel.
Are you kidding?
All right, just want to make sure we didn't miss anything before we get out of here because
Yeah.
it's late. We know some people still got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, and
So,
somebody said something about the guided meditation. Guided meditation is good for beginners.
oh, definitely.
Yeah, so you could try doing
Yeah,
some guided meditations.
because that's how we
Yeah,
started.
I started out doing guided meditation, and it really does help. It kind of gives you something to work with, and then once you become good, then you can start doing it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
so go on and try that meditation, guys. You won't regret it. You would love it. Your mind will start expanding. Get rid of the fluoride, though. Stop drinking the fluoride, guys. Don't drink the tap water.
7-day vegan challenge.
Yeah, get you some alkaline water. Get rid of the tap water altogether. It's just going to
Yes.
calcify your pineal gland, and the pineal gland is really what gives you access to the information that you're really seeking, like your
Right.
information from yourself, your higher self, oversoul, universe, God, whatever.
So true, y'all. But we are out, y'all. We love
We
y'all.
love you guys so much,
We
guys.
love y'all.
Love y'all. Strong.
We are Twin Flames Unite. I'm Chris.
And I'm Leisha.
Peace
Peace.
out.
Love you guys.